Late 11th century, Jerusalem bleeds under Fatimid control. In the chaos of medieval combat, Christian crusaders clash with Muslim forces. Minutes into battle, Crusader knights make a terrifying discovery. The enemy blades slice through their swords like butter. The crusaders realize that strength and skill won't decide this fight. A fallen knight raises his broadsword in desperate defense, a European weapon forged over 6 brutal months, 3 pounds of iron and faith. It has never failed him until now. The Crusaders who survived said Arab steel won the day. They were wrong, dead wrong. The steel was Indian. This story doesn't start in Jerusalem. It starts 3,000 years earlier in the furnaces of India. For over 2,000 years, the Indian subcontinent was the world's most advanced laboratory of metal. Indian smiths produced high-carbon steel with carbon nanotubes, techniques modern science would only later understand. Their steel armed Vikings and built a Delhi pillar that stands rust-free after 15 centuries. Craftsmanship outlasts empires. I'm Sarvajit and welcome to the India's Golden Age podcast. Subscribe to understand India's first golden age and the forces shaping its second. Look, I was taught the same thing you were. Bronze first, then iron. Mediterranean Iron Age start 1200 before Common Era. Everybody else catches up except it's complete nonsense. Tamil Nadu excavations suggest Indian Iron Age started at least 3000 before Common Era. That's 5,000 years from now. An 8-foot iron spear at Thirumalapuram marks the longest iron implement from the Iron Age found in India so far. Let me introduce you to Velvi. It's 300 before Common Era, Tamil Nadu. 3 hours before dawn, when the metal tells the truth by its glow alone. Velvi stands watching over the furnace. After a full day and night without sleep, outside the village rests. Inside her compound, 6 months of savings sit molten at 1200 degrees. A single error means hunger when winter comes. She speaks to an apprentice nearby.
24 hours. Exactly, not less, not more. Carbon takes its own time with iron. Amma used to say that.
Inside the crucible, wrought iron and Cassia auriculata wood measured with care. Nothing in this process is accidental.
The fires burned strong this morning.
Aye, the heat is good for the clay.
Tamil Sangam literature mentions women smelters like Velvi working iron and steel. Archaeological evidence confirms women control the most sensitive stages: charcoal preparation and wood selection, where small errors meant ruin. This expertise passed from mother to daughter. Velvi never knew the chemistry. She knew how. Cassia auriculata wood, Calotropis, gigantea leaves, ores from a particular mine. Science took 2 millennia to explain what she'd already perfected. The iron pillar of Delhi, built under Chandragupta Vikramaditya, has stood rust-free for over 15 centuries. Researchers from the top institutions have studied it, proposing explanations involving phosphorus content, climate, and ancient forging techniques that remain difficult to reproduce. Someone in 400 Common Era understood iron better than we do. By now, Indian steel wasn't just serving India anymore. Indian steel traveled, and I mean really traveled. Viking swords, including the famed wolf bird blades, contained crucible steel Europe couldn't match for centuries. That steel was Indian. Wootz, Burka, Sweden, 847, Common Era. A Viking warrior grips a new sword he cannot explain. His local smith cannot make anything like it. The trader talked of distant land, of spices and steel. What matters is performance. When it strikes his shield, the sound surprises him. Against his older sword, it cuts clean through. Tonight, he will raid the Frankish coast. The blade will decide if he comes back alive. The steel crossed half the world to reach him, from South Indian furnaces through Baghdad up the Volga. Archaeological evidence from Bernice and Mantai shows Tamil and Gujarati networks powered this trade. Arabs called it Al-Hadid, al-Hind, literally Indian steel. Europeans named it Damascus steel. By the 18th century, Indian metallurgy was at its peak. Tipu Sultan's famous sword was made from wood steel so sharp that British soldiers reported that it could cut through their muskets. In the early 19th century, Michael Faraday, known for his electromagnetism, tried and failed to create wood steel. Despite repeated Western attempts, the British couldn't crack the steel code. Then came systematic dismantling. The East India Company pursued deliberate de-industrialization, reshaping India into a source of raw materials and a captive market rather than a competitor. The numbers tell the story. 1750, India produced 25% of global manufacturing. 1900, below 2%. Workshops dismantled, guilds dissolved, artisans pushed into agriculture. British institutions collected Indian artifacts while destroying the systems that produced them. That was economic murder. In 2006, M. Raybould, Peter Paufler, and colleagues at Dresden's Technical University examined a fragment of ancient wood steel under an electron microscope. The researchers are stunned. They check the calibration. Look again. Carbon nanotubes, cementite, nanowires, structures associated with modern nanotechnology present in a blade forged around 300 before Common Era. Their research paper concludes, by empirically optimizing their blade treatment procedure, craftsmen ended up making nanotubes. How did this knowledge survive 2000 years? Guilds kept standards, families trained families, apprentices learned by doing. At the Karnataka site, an archaeometallurgist documents bronze casting practices unchanged for nearly 1,000 years. A local artisan explains it simply.
You may know more science than me, madam, but I can hear when the metal is ready. Can you?
The archaeometallurgist smiles, not yet, but maybe one day. She sees the risk. When a master dies without apprentices, centuries of knowledge disappear. Modern science can recreate woods, but not at scale. The process works, the economics do not. The forges are silent now, but the work of Indian metallurgists like Velvi still speaks. If this made you rethink history, follow and subscribe to India's Golden Age podcast. More stories like this are coming. To further explore India's first Golden Age, read my upcoming novel Dhruvadevi. If you believe India can reclaim its status as a manufacturing giant, comment Make in India below. Until next week, stay curious, keep exploring. Jai Hind.